Hello students, today I am going to share with you the concept of time value of money. Time value of money is very important in financial management, corporate finance, valuation of the firm, security analysis, portfolio management, and even in personal investment decisions. So to understand time value of money, let us take one example. If I offer you rupees 1000 now, that means at present point of time, and I give you an option to take this rupees 1000 after 1 year. So which option will you opt? Given the option that you can take rupees 1000 now or you can take this rupees 1000 after 1 year, what will you choose? Obviously you will say now. Why will you say so? There are certain reasons. Number one is the opportunity cost. Opportunity cost means if you are not taking this 1000 rupees now, that means you are foregoing something. And what is that something? Had you been received this 1000 now, you can invest this 1000 or use this 1000 in such a way that this money can grow or this money can become bigger after 1 year. That means the value of rupees 1000 now is not worth or same the value of rupees 1000 at some future point of time. So the value or worth of this 1000 will change across the time frame. So the value of money now is not equal to the value of money at future point of time. And first reason is because the opportunity cost will be lost. There is certain opportunity cost and you will be sacrifice something if you are not getting this money now. Right? This is one thing. Second thing for your this opting 1000 now is the inflation that is acting in the market. So the commodities that you can buy now with 1000 rupees will be costlier at future point of time. That simply means this 1000 rupees purchasing power will decrease at future point of time because of the inflation acting in the market. So that means rupees 1000 is worth more than rupees 1000 in future point of time because the purchasing power of 1000 is more now than in any point in the future. The third thing is the consumption foregone. So you are foregoing something, consumption that you are foregoing now or sacrificing now has certain cost because some uncertainty element will also act over it. You are getting this 1000 now, which is certain, you will get it in your hand, but after 1 year, that is in future point of time, there may be certain uncertainty, certain risk, you may or may not be receiving it, right? So there are certain risk factors also which has a cost. Right? So these are three important basic reasons why the price or the value of money now is not equal to value of money at any point in the future. This we all agree, right? Now I give you one more option. Take 1000 now or take rupees 1100 in after 1 year or in 1 year's period time. This is now. Now what will you do? Will you go with rupees 1000 now or rupees 1100 after 1 year? Now how will you decide? As I told you, there are certain opportunity cost acting on it. And what is that opportunity cost? The very basic simple example is, if you get this 1000 now, you can go with depositing this money in some FD with the bank. That simply is the safest mode of investment. You are not taking much of the default risk. So what you are expected to earn on this 1000 in one period is, let's say, 7%, right? So your opportunity cost I take here is, let's say, 7%. So according to this, if you accept this 1000 rupees now, what will be the value of money with your opportunity cost after 1 year will be 1070 rupees with 7% as your opportunity cost, right? But you are receiving 1100, which is more than your opportunity cost. So you will be willing to take this money in future, right? That means future worth of something, the value of 1000 rupees for you, which will be equal to value of this 1000 for you after one period of time, can be ascertained given some rate of interest, some opportunity cost or the discount rate which is applicable to you. That simply means we can convert any sum of money which is in present value terms. Present value terms means now at some future point of time also. We call it future value of the money. So this 1000 can be converted into future value. The worth of this 1000 in some future point of time can be ascertained, right, with the help of this discount rate or this opportunity cost of rate. This we have calculated your value of 1000 after 1 year, given 7% your opportunity cost as 1070. Similarly, after 2 year, after 3 year, after 4 year. So any point of time in the future I can calculate, or I can change this present value in future value, and vice versa also. Given the value of some money after 5 years, so we would be interested in knowing what is the value of this money at present time or now. So this can also be done, and this is what is time value of money. The calculation of this part is calculation of time value of money. Before going further, let me explain you the timeline. So you have to visualize while doing such sum the timeline, so that the clarity of the cash flows coming in future or at present value term is clear in your mind, so that you can apply different techniques of converting present value into future value or future value into present value. This timeline is something very simple, जो अभी अभी हमने यहाँ पे भी draw किया है. Start with now, which is 0 period, 0 point of time. So the cash flow relating to this present value or the now point of time is CF0. CF is the cash flow at the point 0. Point 0 means now, at present value. Then we have after 1 year in this timeline. So cash flow after 1 year, that means at the end of 1 year will be cash flow 1, then cash flow 2 at the end of second year, at the end of third year it will be cash flow at third year, right? So this is the timeline. So here, if I want to know the worth of money now at the end of 1 year, so what I have to do, I have to convert this money and take the value when this money will be worth at this point of time. After 2 year this, after 3 year this, and so on. So while calculating or while taking decision based on time value of money, you have to keep in mind, visualize this time frame, so that you can understand what you are going to do, what you are going to, where you are going to equivalent make this present value and future value the same worth for you. Alright, so how this will be converted? That means the future value at year and at the end of year 1, future value at the end of year 2, future value at the end of year 3, we can convert this, and this conversion we will be studying by 3 techniques. First one is by formula. By applying present value and future value formula, we can make this change, the present value into future value and the future value into present value. Another technique that we will study or we will learn here is the using interest rate tables. So like log tables, we have certain compounding and discounting value tables, generally known as interest rate tables. Using that tables also you can convert present value into future value or future value into present value. Then the third most important these days are the spreadsheet. So while doing the practical aspect or the in the real life work, decision making, you should be using spreadsheet, because it is the most convenient and most easiest method to do the sums on time value of money in computers. So I will tell you how to make this conversion in MS Excel. Now the important thing, what is the application of this time value of money? Why we are using this time value of money, right? इसका use कहाँ आएगा? So let us first take the use of the application of this time value of money fundamentals in business. So I'll give you just an overview of the decisions that business takes. The first important decisions which a business firm makes is the capital budgeting decisions. Now what is capital budgeting? You are evaluating a project where a firm want to invest money, and that project will give the cash flow at future point of time. For any business, for any project, we know you have to invest now, आपको पैसा अभी डालना है project में, and that project will give return at future point of time. So how do you calculate at now at present time that this project is going to be viable or not? Because the investment now is not worth the cash flow at future point of time. So you need to convert the cash flow which will be coming in future at present value term, so that outflow and inflow can be compared, and then you can make a decision of whether to go with a project or to reject a project. So if inflow is more than outflow, then project is viable. But to compare this cash flow and inflow and outflow, we have to bring all these future cash flow which will this project will earn at one platform now. That means we will be converting the profit or the cash flow from this project at the end of year 1 now, at the end of year 2 now, at the end of year 3 now, because we are investing now. So this is one area where this time value of money finds a huge application. For making all capital budgeting decisions, a manager does this time value of money of its financials, cash flows, right? The second application of this time value of money is valuation of a firm. So how the firm can be valued? Valuation of the firm is based on the growth rate, or maybe CAGR, and this CAGR is again the compounding annual growth of return. So for this compounding, we again have to make a balance between the future cash flows and the present value. So the conversion will also find a place here in valuation of a firm. Next application here is calculation of EMIs or calculation of capital recovery. So for all these things, to calculate the EMI installment amount, what we are using the time value of money only. Capital recovery also, because capital recovery will be a principal plus the interest amount at diminishing value. For all these calculations, we use the principles of time value of money. Another important is, as I told you, the investment decision making, because in personal investment we have to take this risk and return metrics into consideration so as to decide what to do with our money. For this also we are doing what? Time value of money. A simple example could be you have certain sum of money, and your financial planning or financial aim is to accumulate some amount in the future. So you need to decide at what rate should I invest my money so as to accumulate this particular amount, or any type of such personal investment decision making. The fundamentals of time value of money is highly applicable there. So these are the applications of time value of money. Now the calculation part of time value of money. Calculation part, simply what we are doing, we will be converting the present value and the future value of money at one point of time so that they can be compared, right? So the first thing that we will compare, now we know what is present value and what is future value. So the first aspect will be future value of single cash flow. Single cash flow means a lump sum. That means you have some certain sum of money now, and you want to calculate the worth of this money in future point of time. Let's say maybe 1 year, 2 year or 3 year. First we will talk about the 1 year. So 1 year is very, very simple. At this point of time, at point 0, you have certain amount, that is present value. You need to calculate this worth or the value of this present value after 1 year. at 1 year point of time, given certain interest rate, or I simply write R percentage, right? So what will be the amount? Very simple, we can write here the present value at this point of time will be the present value itself, that means the money itself, and the interest that this money will earn in one period of time, that means present value multiplied by R percentage. So this part, present value multiplied by R percentage, is nothing but it is the amount or the return earned by this money being invested in one period of time at R percentage. Simple. Now look at this, if I take this present value common here, it remains 1 plus R. Alright, now let us extend this. You want to calculate the price or the value of this rupees, present value rupees, after 2 years, right? So that means you want to know the value of your money now after 2 years time. Now what will happen? Now compounding will come here. Compounding means now what will happen? This money remain invested for 1 year at this R percentage. Now at the end of 1 year, you have accumulated this amount. This amount is future value after 1 year. After 1 year you have this amount. Now this amount will be invested again for 1 more year at R percentage, right? Simply you will not do the simple interest thing. That means this amount is invested now, you will get a return of at R percentage 1 year, then same return second year, because now this will be compounding. That simply means this point of time pay, you don't only have this amount of money, but you also have the interest earned on this money. So for this period of time, this interest will also earn interest, right? So this is known as compounding, where you are getting interest on interest. So your money is compounding every year, right? So if I want to write or know the future value of my this money after 2 years, then simply this is the amount at the end of 1 year, and I will be getting what? Interest on this amount. So this will be 1 plus R. Ab is whole pay I will be getting 1 plus R more. Simply I can write present value 1 plus R to the power 2, because these are 2 times we are multiplying 1 plus R. That simply means we can derive a formula here of future value, which is nothing but present value 1 plus R to the power n, right? And what is this n here? N is nothing but it is the number of years, compounding years, and R percentage is your discount rate. We call it discount rate. Technically this is simply your interest rate or your minimum required rate of return, right? So this becomes the formula for converting present value into future value, right? We will be taking a numerical also here with the formula, right? First let me explain you the second part also, then we will take one example and we will calculate. I will show you the calculation. Second is now the converting, getting present value of single cash flow in future. So you have certain amount in future and you want to convert that amount in present value terms. Simple example will be, if I tell you that I will be giving you 2000 rupees after 2 years. So you want to know what is the worth of that 2000 now. For such problems, for such issues, you need to calculate the present value of some future value of a sum of money. Formula can be derived from here also. So the formula will become present value is equal to future value multiplied by 1 over R raised to the power n. R here is again the discount rate and n being the number of compounding years. So this becomes the formula for present value, converting future value into present value terms, right? Let us take an example. Let's say you invested rupees 10,000 now for a period of I am writing n here, 2 years at our percentage, which is 10%. That means now you have 10,000 rupees. You have invested this 10,000 for 2 years at a rate of 10%. You want to calculate how much I will get after 2 years. That means now what this 10% will compound to at the end of second year. What we are given here, this 10,000 is now, that means it is a present value, and this 10,000 after 2 years will be the future value. So we need to calculate simply the future value. So what we will do here, we will just apply the formula. Future value is equal to present value into 1 plus r to the power n. I am simply writing it, 10,000 multiplied by 1 plus 10%, I can write 0.10 raised to the power 2, right? So if you solve this, this will come to 10,000 multiplied by 1.21. That simply means my money will grow up to 12,100 after 2 years. So this 1200 I will be earning as interest. I will be earning as my interest for this 2 years. So using this formula, we can convert any amount at present value term at any point in the future. If this will be compounded for 5 years, so I will simply make it raised to the power 5 and will do this calculation. Simply we can calculate using this formula, we can convert the future value into present value terms also. One very important aspect here, students, technical jargon term here that you need to know. When we are converting future value, when we are converting present value into future value terms, we term it as compounding. So this is known as compounding, because this will compound to some certain sum of money at future point of time. But when we are converting future value into present value terms, we call it as discounting. So discounting simply means converting future value into present value, and compounding simply means converting present value to the future value, right? So this compounding and discounting is two important words here. According to our decisions, according to the given case and situation, we need to see whether we are applying this compounding technique or discounting technique to make the cash flow at different point of time at one time platform, so that we can compare it, because it is logical to compare the money at one point of time only, because we know now that the money worth one point of time is not equal to worth any point of time in the future. So this is using formula, the first technique, which is using formula. Another technique, so as we will move further with another techniques, it will go on, the calculation will go on making simple and simple. The another technique is by using interest rate table. Interest rate table, as I told you, is a table जिसमें value already calculated है. We have to just check at which rate, at which time we need to extract the value, and then we can put here in the formula. That means what is given there in interest rate table, the value of this factor. I'll show you how. So if we want to understand the compounding or do the compounding to find out the future value of a present value, so according to the formula it is like this, right? So in interest rate, what is given is this part. The value of this part is already given for different r and different n. We will just put value here and we can solve the problem. Similarly, in present value, the value, the table, interest rate table, to calculate the discounting or the present value, the value of 1 plus r to the power n is given for different r and for different n. So what we will be doing, we will simply put the calculated value here and will solve the problem. I'll show you how does this interest rate table looks like. This is a typical interest rate table. So this interest rate table which I am showing you is the future value interest factor for $1 compounded, 1 rupee compounded. That means PVIF at Kn. So I am writing R, they are writing K at Rn. Here what is given in this matrix is the different rate of interest at different time period. So we just need to find out what will be our factor, interest factor, that means this calculated value of R and N, which grid is applicable, which grid I should choose. I will just put the formula and my problem is solved. So we will just take the same example which we have taken here. You have invested this 10,000 rupees for 2 years, 10%. So this becomes our formula. So here in this case, for this problem, what I am doing, what I am writing here is present value multiplied by future value interest factor, which I will be getting from this table at 2 years at 10%. So this is time, that means n and r. So now I will find what will be that factor. 10% is here for 2 years. Look here. So this is my 1.21 is my interest factor, which I have found from this future value interest factor table. So 1.21 is the amount. So I will simply be writing here future value is equal to 10,000 multiplied by 1.21, that means 12,100. This is the same amount that we have calculated using the formula, right? Isn't it easy? But you just need to understand which table and how to locate the grid in the table. Similarly, FVIF is, or future value interest factor, is to calculate future value or to do compounding thing. Similarly, we can go for discounting part also, but here this table is not applicable. So this table is readily given, available in all the websites, financial website, and also given at the end of any financial management book. Another table that I have is the present value interest table factor, PVIF. So for discounting, this table will be applicable with this name PVIF, present value interest factor, present value interest factor of $1. That means a lump sum payment, present value interest factor table. So I'll take another example and we will do this example using this interest rate table. Now the example is, let's say you have been offered to get 5,000 rupees at the end of rupees 5,000 at the end of 5 years. If interest rate, our percentage applicable to you is, let's say, 5%, so what is the value of this money now for you? This 5,000 is the future value. This is future value of some amount. It's 5,000 for you after 5 years. So what will be the value of this amount now for you? That means what we have given, future value. So what we are interested in calculating, the amount of this future value now, that means we are interested in calculating present value. That means we have to discount this 5 lakh rupees after 5 years at 5% rate of interest, right? According to the formula, if you remember the formula, it is future value multiplied by 1 over 1 plus r to the power n. In this case, this is future value multiplied by 1 over 1 plus, what is r to the power n? If we apply the formula, so it is 0.05 to the power 5, right? So by formula you can calculate this. Another way to calculate this using interest rate table. So simply what you are going to do, present value is equal to future value multiplied by present value interest factor. Present value interest factor at what percentage? 5% for how many years? 5 years. This is how we write using interest rate table. What simply we will do? We will write the future value. We will just put the value of future amount which is given to us multiplied by, now this factor we need to locate from this table, which is present value interest factor table. So what is the rate percentage and time period? So the time period is 5 year and the rate percentage is 5%. Look here, 5%, 5 years, this is 0.7835. So I will simply write 0.7835, right, and then I can calculate this, and that will become my present value of that sum of money which is worth rupees 5,000 for me at the end of 5 years. One important thing to remember here, dear students, we will not write this value here. That means this 0.7183 is a reciprocal value given to us. So it is already calculated in reciprocals. So there is no need to again do the reciprocal or write it here 1 upon 0.7835. We will simply be writing 0.7835 here, and when you will solve this, you will get the present value using this interest rate table, right? So this is simple enough. Third technique will be using Excel spreadsheet, right? So in a spreadsheet it is really very easy. What you need to know is the vocabulary there, the nomenclature there. So there is a function to calculate the present value or the future value with is equal to present value or is equal to future value. So what according to your requirement, you just write this function in the Excel is equal to FV or is equal to PV. We have already done these exercises in classroom, right? So I will be giving you a practice sheet in here. I am attaching in my description box. So you can go and solve these practice sheet to check whether you have understood this concept or not, and I recommend you to do this with the Excel technique only, because this will be easier and this is what is required. What is required is not the calculation part, but how you understand and how do you apply this time value of money to take informed decision making. So this is the formula. Now to write inside, to put the value inside, there are certain certain boxes or the inputs that you need to enter. First you will be entering there the rate percentage. So rate you have to put in percentage form or decimal form. If you are not doing it in decimal form, then write divided by 100. Otherwise if you will put 10, the computer will take it as if you write 1, so computer will take it as 100%, not 1%. For 1% you will have to write 0.01. So better way is to write it in decimals, or you can write 10% as 110 divided by 100, right? Next is NPER. NPER is the number of compounding periods. Kitne compounding periods hain? That simply means the number of years, because whatever we have done till here is we are compounding it annually. दैट मीन्स साल में एक बार ही उस पर इंटरेस्ट मिल रहा है और फिर वो यहाँ एक्यूमुलेट होके नेक्स्ट ईयर पूरे ईयर के लिए इन्वेस्ट हो रहा है और उस पर इंटरेस्ट मिल रहा है. दैट मीन्स इट इज कंपाउंडेड एनुअली. So NPR is the annual compounding. If the compounding is done at different frequency in a year, then NPR will change and R will also change. We will take this concept later on. So NPR is the number of compounding periods, right? Then you have to either give the input as PV or FV as the case may be. If you want to calculate present value, so you will have to enter the value in future value, or if you want to calculate future value, so you have to enter the value as present value. So that field will be given. The one important thing that you must keep in mind is that your one stream of cash flow will be positive and one will be negative. If your input is negative, you will get output as positive. If your output is positive, you will get If your input is negative, you will get output as positive. If your input is positive, you will get output as negative. So इनमें से एक चीज, either present value, future value, or the answer, you have to check whether it is a cash inflow or outflow. In case of investment, it is a cash outflow from our side. So we will put this present value, जो अभी हम let's say this question, 10,000 rupees you are investing now, that means this is a cash flow for you. So for this you will write present value as what? Minus 10,000. If you are applying this formula is equal to FV, they will ask you to enter present value, so you will be writing minus 10,000 there, right? So, and these are simple inputs that you have to put there. Then there is one more item in Excel, which is type. Type is either 0 or 1, that depends upon whether the lump sum will start now or at the end of 1 year. So we will talk on this later on, right? So this is how in Excel, if you apply this formula for doing discounting, just apply this formula, put the entries there, you will get the answer. If you want to discount, that means convert present value into future value terms, just apply this function and put the formula, you will be getting the answer. I will be taking a practice session for Excel also. So these are the three techniques: the formula one, the interest rate table one, and the Excel. Using that you can convert present value into future value terms. Now given any question, you need to decide, you need to visualize this timeline and then think whether you are going to do compounding technique or the discounting technique, or whether the formula will be feasible, or interest rate table is given to you, or you have access to Excel sheet. Depending upon that, just solve the things for proper decision making, right? With this, there is one more thing which you need to know right now, right? Before session 2, you must need to know right now. Whatever we are doing here is compounding at one period of time. Now there may be a situation where you may be getting this interest before 1 year also. For example, if you have invested certain sum of money now, right? After 1 year, and let's say after 2 years. So your money, which is now as at present value, will be remain invested for 1 year. After 1 year you will be getting the interest, but given an option that you will receive the interest, or you will your money will be compounding 2 times a year. That means after 6 months you will be getting the interest, right? This is 1 year, let's say this is 6 months. So 6 months what you will be receiving? The interest. What at what rate of percentage? Let's say the rate, annual rate is R percentage, so uska आधा R divided by 2% you will be getting now. Now after 6 months, now you will have more money. सिर्फ आपका principal नहीं है, you have earned interest for 6 months. That will be attached, that will be accumulated to your principal, and that whole amount will go for investment in for next 6 months also. दूसरे 6 months में भी उसे मिल जाएगा. That means 2 times your money is compounding. So will it be more if the compounding had been done in annually or semi-annually? Will there be a difference? Of course there will be a difference, because whatever interest you have earned in this period, in 6 months, so उस interest पे भी interest मिलेगा इस 6 months में. So this is compounding at different point of time. So how to solve such questions? अभी हमारा जो एग्जाम्पल था, where we have invested our money, for 2 years, our percentage is 10%. So if this bank says that the compounding will not be annually, it will be semi-annually. So what you will do? This is a very simple thing. What you are going to change here is nothing but just the effect on 2 things, which is on your R percentage and on your compounding period. So this R percentage is the rate of interest that you will compound at one discounting period. So even if it is 6 months, so 6 months mein what you will be getting? The half of what is promised you for whole year. That means you are dividing this R percentage per annum with M. So M is what? M is nothing but the number of compounding period. So number of compounding period semi-annually में कितना होता है? 2 times. So we will divide per annum R percentage by 2. So for example, 10% is the quoted rate of interest, and if it is compounding semi-annually, so we will be getting what? 5% for 6 months and 5% for another 6 months, right? So simply you have to make changes in R and also in N. Now, in 1 year there are 2 compounding periods, so your N will now change to N into M. N is your number of years multiplied by the number of compounding period. If it is semi-annually, so 1 year में कितनी compounding हो रही है? 2 बार. So 1 year period will change to 2. So in our case, N was 2 years. So how many times we will get the benefit of this compounding? If it is done semi-annually, 4 times. So our N in this case will be 4. 2 into 2, because 2 being the number of compounding period per year. R percentage will be 5%. So you simply need to change the R and N in case of different compounding period, and use any of the technique, you will get the same answer. If it is semi-annually, just for your better understanding, I am telling you, if it is semi-annually, so the compounding period will be 2. 2 बार compounding होगा and R percentage will be divided by 2. If your compounding is done quarterly, now how many quarters are there in a year? 4. That means you are getting benefit of 4 time compounding when it is compounded quarterly. So here the M will be 4. So for if your compounding is done quarterly, so you have to divide your R percentage by 4 and multiply your number of year by 4. If it is done monthly, now obviously you will be able to tell me quickly that you will get 12 times the compounding benefits. So you will multiply your time period year by 12 and divide your R percentage by 12. So this is how you just simply change the R and T, and you will achieve the conversion of present value to future value using formula, also using interest rate table also.